Jessica and Adam had been married for 12 years and wanted one thing more than anything else: a child. Cancer had taken that from Jessica when she was 33. A hysterectomy, quiet grief, and years of trying everything else led them here, to a glass-walled fertility clinic on the edge of downtown. That's where they met Lauren. She was 26, confident, with big eyes and a firm handshake. "I'm doing this because I want to give someone a chance," she told them. No hesitation, just conviction. She was a surrogate by choice, not desperation. Jessica liked that at first. Adam said Lauren had a calmness about her that made everything feel safe. Jessica hated how much she agreed. The contract was simple on paper. Their embryo, her body. Monthly payments, legal waivers, final custody. But nothing about it was simple in practice. Jessica visited every week at first, brought smoothies, books, asked polite questions. But the truth was, she couldn't stand watching someone else carry the child she'd once imagined feeling kick inside her. Adam started going instead. "You rest," he'd say. "It's better for both of you if you're not stressed." It made sense until it didn't. By the time Lauren reached her 6th month, Jessica had stopped going entirely. One Friday, she asked Adam casually, "Did she mention if the baby's been kicking more?" He hesitated. "Yeah." She said the baby responds to music now. Jessica blinked. "Music?" I brought my old headphones. Played her some Fleetwood Mac. The baby kicked like crazy. Jessica's stomach twisted. That night she couldn't sleep. She stared at the ceiling and whispered to the dark, "Whose baby is this really?" The next day, Lauren didn't show up to the scheduled ultrasound. Her phone went to voicemail. Hours passed. Then Adam got the message. It was one line. "I've decided to keep her." That word, her. Not it. Not the baby. Her. Jessica screamed when she read it. Adam stood frozen, rereading it like it might change. Their lawyer told them it was a breach of contract, but warned them it was complicated. "Judges don't like prying newborns from a birth mother's arms," she said flatly. Even if she signed everything. Jessica stormed out of the room. Adam sat there, jaw clenched. No one spoke for a long time. Later that night, Jessica confronted him. "Did you say anything to her? Make her feel like she could keep the baby?" Adam's silence stretched like wire. "Tell me you didn't," she said. His eyes welled up. "Jess?" But he didn't finish the sentence. That was when she knew something had shifted. In Lauren. In Adam. Maybe even in herself. Jessica whispers, "If you betrayed me, Adam, you don't just lose the baby. You lose me." He looks down and for the first time in their marriage doesn't answer. 3 weeks. No word. Lauren was gone. Her bank account inactive. Her phone powered off. The pregnancy now at 24 weeks. Not early enough to undo. Not late enough to guarantee anything. Their attorney was honest. "The law leans both ways," she explained. "You're the biological parents, yes, but she's the birth mother. And if she's bonding, if she gives birth and files for custody, it could take years to sort out." Jessica sat in silence. Adam paced, fists clenched. "She signed a contract," he said. "She was paid. Not the final installment," the lawyer added. "She didn't cash it." "What does that mean?" Jessica asked. "It means she could claim she had a change of heart before it was finalized. That she acted under emotional duress." Jessica scoffed. She was calm. She knew exactly what she was doing. That night, Jessica packed a bag and left. Moved into her sister's spare bedroom. She needed air, space, truth, anything but the fog that had crept into their home. Meanwhile, Adam searched, pulled up old messages, receipts, fragments of memory. One stood out. An old postcard Lauren had used as a bookmark. A little diner's name scribbled across it. "Best pecan pie in 3 states." Adam drove 6 hours north. When he walked into the diner, she was there, sitting at the counter, swollen belly, ponytail, reading little fires everywhere. "Lauren," he said. She didn't flinch. "I knew you'd come." He sat beside her. "Please, come back. Let's talk. You can't just disappear." She placed a hand on her stomach. She kicks when I sing to her. She knows me now. Adam looked down. But she's ours. We created her. You were supposed to be a bridge, not a home. Lauren looked up slowly. You think this is just about biology? It's about commitment. No, Adam. It's about truth. She reached into her purse and pulled out a small envelope. You should open this. I wanted to wait until you came alone. I figured you would. What is it? Proof. Proof of what? Her voice was soft. That the story you've been telling yourself isn't the whole story. That maybe, just maybe, Jessica isn't the only one with secrets. Adam opened the envelope slowly, hands trembling. His breath caught. Inside, a folded sheet, DNA results, and a name circled at the bottom. The father's name wasn't his. It was someone else's. Adam stared at the paper. One name glared back at him like a siren in the dark. It wasn't his. Not legally. Not biologically. The paternity test didn't lie. The child Lauren was carrying, the one he and Jessica had dreamed of, fought for, planned their life around, was not his. It's not possible, he muttered. We used my sample. I was there. Lauren watched him quietly. People make mistakes, Adam. But this wasn't a mistake. What are you saying? You need to talk to your wife. His voice cracked. Did she know? Lauren looked away. I don't think she ever planned to tell you. I didn't either, at first. I just wanted to carry the baby and walk away. But the day I heard her heartbeat, I knew I couldn't give her up. Not to people living a lie. Adam stood up so quickly the stool fell behind him. People turned. Lauren didn't flinch. I didn't want it to be this way, she said softly. He didn't answer. He just left. Drove all night. Didn't call Jessica. Didn't sleep. Just stared at the paper every time he stopped for gas or caffeine. There it was. Biological father, Michael Halperin. Not a name he recognized. Not a name that should have been there. By morning, he was outside Jessica's sister's house. She came to the door in sweatpants, her face swollen from sleep and stress. What happened? She asked, alarmed. Where were you? Tell me the truth, Adam said, holding up the paper. Who is Michael Halperin? Her face went pale. Just like that, he knew. You lied to me, he said. You used someone else's sample. Was it an accident? She didn't speak. Jessica, he barked, was an accident. Her voice came out like sand. No, why? Because your sample was too weak. They told me the count was borderline. Panicked. I didn't want to go through another failed round. So you just, what? Stole someone else's. Michael was a donor. From a private backup list. Anonymous, technically. But I knew who he was. He went to college with me. PhD, tall. Clean genetic history. I just wanted to be sure it would work. You didn't even tell me. Because I thought we could still be happy. I thought once she was here, it wouldn't matter. Adam backed away. You lied about the one thing that mattered most. Jessica's tears finally came, but he wasn't looking at her anymore. He was staring off into space, his whole body trembling. She's not mine, he whispered. She was never mine. That night, he didn't go home. He booked a hotel off the highway and stared at the ceiling for hours. Meanwhile, Jessica sat alone, scrolling through old ultrasound photos. She enlarged one week 20, where the baby had her tiny fist raised. Jessica had always imagined that hand wrapped around Adam's finger. But it wasn't Adam's hand she would cling to now. It wasn't Adam's eyes she'd inherit. In the silence, Jessica said out loud, I broke us. And somewhere, hundreds of miles away, Lauren felt a tightening in her chest she couldn't explain. The next morning, Lauren answered a knock at her door and froze. It wasn't Adam. It was Jessica, alone, pale, and holding a suitcase. Lauren opened the door, shocked. Jessica stood there, eyes hollow, arms trembling slightly as she gripped the handle of her suitcase. Neither of them spoke. The silence was thick, oppressive. Finally, Lauren stepped aside. You shouldn't be here, Jessica walked in without answering. She moved slowly, deliberately, like each step weighed 100 pounds. Lauren shut the door. "How did you find me?" "Adam," Jessica said softly. "He didn't mean to tell me, but he left a receipt from this town's motel on the dresser." She looked around Lauren's small, tidy apartment, taking in the baby books, the ultrasound photo taped to the fridge, the faint scent of lavender. "You've made a home," she said flatly. Lauren crossed her arms. "I've made a space. There's a difference." Jessica set the suitcase down. "I'm not here to fight." Lauren raised an eyebrow. "Then why are you here?" "Because I'm losing everything. My marriage, my future, my grip on what's real. And because I can't stop wondering what you're feeling." "You mean, besides guilt?" Lauren said, voice sharp. "I didn't plan to do this, Jessica. I didn't want to hurt you." Jessica sat on the edge of the couch. "But you did. You hurt both of us. You fell in love with her." "Yes." Jessica's voice broke. "So did I." Lauren sat across from her now, the tension electric. "Why'd you lie to him?" Jessica didn't pretend to misunderstand. "Because I thought I could fix it before it broke everything. I didn't think he'd find out." "You gambled with a life," Lauren said, one hand on her stomach. "She's not a repair job." "I know that now." Jessica took a breath. "You want to raise her, but so do I. And no matter what DNA says, I've already loved her longer." Lauren's eyes shimmered. "She moves when I sing," she whispered. "She kicks when I laugh. I know that sounds silly, but she knows me. You think I don't feel that too? That I haven't dreamed of her face every night?" Lauren stood up. "So what now? You want a co-parent? Flip a coin? Share weeks like a custody schedule?" Jessica looked down. "I don't know, but I'm not leaving without trying to find a way forward. Even if it's painful." Outside, thunder rumbled in the distance. The sky was darkening. Jessica stood and walked toward the suitcase. She unzipped it and pulled out a tiny sweater, hand-knitted, mint green, with a white ribbon threaded through the collar. "I made this," she said, "before everything fell apart." Lauren took it silently. For a moment, they were two women, no longer locked in battle, but standing in the eye of an emotional storm. "I don't want to destroy you," Lauren said, "but I also won't erase myself from her life." "Then maybe we don't destroy anything," Jessica replied. "Maybe we build something none of us planned for." Just then, Lauren winced. Her hand went to her belly. Jessica's eyes widened. "Was that—" "Yeah," Lauren said, her breath catching. "A real one. A strong kick. But the second one was sharper. And the third didn't stop." She doubled over. Jessica moved fast, grabbing her arms. "Is this labor?" "I don't know," Lauren gasped. "It's too early. We need to go. Now." But when Jessica reached for her phone to call for help, Lauren screamed and collapsed to her knees. Jessica dropped the phone in panic, looked down at Lauren writhing in pain, and saw the unmistakable blood soaking through her leggings. Jessica's breath caught in her throat. Blood. Not a little. Too much. Spreading fast across Lauren's leggings, pooling beneath her knees on the hardwood floor. "Call 911, Lauren gasped, her face pale, drenched in sweat. Jessica scrambled, hands trembling so badly she could barely unlock her phone. Her voice cracked as she gave the address. "She's 26. 27 weeks pregnant. She's bleeding fast. She's in pain. Please hurry." Lauren was groaning now, eyes squeezed shut, rocking slightly. "Hold on," Jessica whispered, crouching beside her. "It's going to be okay. Just breathe. Stay with me." The dispatcher kept asking questions, but Jessica barely heard them. Her world narrowed to the warmth of Lauren's blood seeping into her jeans, the way Lauren's hand clutched hers like a lifeline, and the tiny sound, barely audible, of Lauren murmuring to the baby. "Stay in there, little girl. Just hold on." Sirens wailed in the distance, growing louder. Jessica kept her eyes on the door. "Almost here. You're doing so good. Just stay with me." Lauren blinked slowly. "Don't let them take her away." "What? If something happens?" Promise me you won't let them take her from both of us. Don't say that. Promise me. Jessica gritted her teeth. I promise. The door burst open. Paramedics swarmed in, asking questions Jessica couldn't answer. One of them checked Lauren's pulse. Another shouted for a gurney. She's going into early labor, someone said. Jessica stood frozen until they waved her forward. You coming? One asked. She nodded and climbed into the back of the ambulance, never letting go of Lauren's hand. The ride to the hospital blurred. So did the waiting. Lauren was rushed into emergency surgery. Jessica wasn't allowed in. Hours passed. She sat in a hallway chair, arms wrapped around herself, still wearing blood-stained jeans. The hospital lights buzzed above. Nurses passed. No one looked at her. Then Adam arrived, out of breath, eyes wild. What happened? He asked. How did you even? I tracked your location. Your sister let it slip that you'd gone after Lauren. Jessica stood slowly, wincing from stiff legs. She's in surgery. They're trying to stop the labor. Jesus. He ran a hand through his hair. Is she going to be okay? I don't know. And the baby? Jessica couldn't answer. He sat beside her, both of them silent for a while. Why didn't you tell me? He finally asked. About the donor. About Michael. Jessica stared ahead. Because I didn't think it would matter if we ended up with a child. A real family. I thought you'd love her the same. I would've, he said. I think I still might. She turned to him. What do you mean? I mean I can't unfeel what I felt. What I feel. Even if she's not mine. A doctor appeared. Jessica Hart? She stood. Yes. Lauren made it through. We stopped the labor for now. She lost a lot of blood. We're monitoring her closely. And the baby? Still hanging on. But we're at a dangerous point. Every hour matters now. Jessica exhaled sharply. Can I see her? The doctor nodded. Briefly. Jessica turned to Adam. Come with me. He hesitated. No, he said. I think this is between the two of you now. Jessica walked alone into the dim hospital room. Lauren lay pale and fragile, eyes fluttering open. Jessica sat beside her. You made it, she whispered. Lauren gave the faintest smile. Barely. The baby's okay. For now. Good, Lauren said. Then, slowly, she reached beneath the blanket and pulled out a small paper folder. There's something else. You need to see this. I was going to give it to Adam. But maybe it's better you see it first. Jessica opened the folder. Inside was a signed document. Legal. Notarized. Her name on it. And a heading. Parental Transfer Agreement. Jessica's mouth fell open as Lauren whispered. I was going to give her to you, even after everything. But now I don't know who I can trust. Jessica's fingers tightened around the document. Her name was there, bold and permanent. Legal custody transfer pending birth. Lauren had signed it 2 days before she disappeared. You were going to give her to me? She whispered. Lauren's voice was thin. It wasn't just for you. It was for her. I wanted her to have 2 people who could love her without making each other bleed for it. But then you ran. Because I saw the cracks. In you. In Adam. In me. And I panicked. I couldn't imagine handing her over to a family that was already shattering. Jessica's eyes filled. So you were going to give her away? And then take her back? No. I just didn't know what the right thing was anymore. And then she kicked. And I felt like a mother. But you're not, Jessica said softly. Not in the way I've prayed to be for years. Lauren looked away. You think I don't know that? The room fell into silence, broken only by the distant rhythm of machines. Jessica stood and walked to the window. The night outside was still, the hospital parking lot bathed in yellow light. You want the truth? She said. I didn't just lie to Adam. I lied to myself. I thought if I could control the outcome, I'd feel whole again. But control isn't love. It's fear with better packaging. Lauren stared at the ceiling. You really think you can love this baby? Even if she doesn't look like you? Even if she comes into this world fighting for every breath? I already do, Jessica whispered. I loved her the second the embryo was created. I loved her when you threw up in the clinic bathroom. I loved her even when you said you were keeping her. And I love her now, even knowing I might not be the one who gets to take her home." The door creaked open. A nurse stepped in. "Sorry to interrupt. The doctor wants to do another scan." Jessica nodded and turned back to Lauren. "Whatever happens next, I think we need to stop being enemies." "Then what are we?" "I don't know," Jessica said, tears in her voice. "But maybe something new. Something better." Lauren reached out, and Jessica took her hand. For the first time, there was no tension. Just two women holding the same fear, the same hope, in their joined palms. In the hallway, Adam stood quietly outside the door. He'd heard most of it. He wiped his face, pulled out his phone, and made a call. "Hello? Yes, I need to speak with Michael Halperin. Tell him it's about the embryo donation." 3 weeks later, the baby came early. Tiny, fragile, but screaming with a strength no one expected. Jessica was in the delivery room, holding Lauren's hand the entire time. When the doctor placed the baby on Lauren's chest, time froze. Then Lauren looked at Jessica and whispered, "You hold her first." And Jessica did. Fingers trembling, heart pounding. She took her daughter in her arms and wept. Adam arrived minutes later. They didn't speak at first, just stared at the little girl, their daughter, kind of, not in the way they imagined, but in the way that mattered. Months passed. Legal battles were replaced by legal agreements. Shared custody. Unconventional, yes, but rooted in something real. Jessica and Adam began rebuilding, not as the couple they once were, but as people who could grow into something new. Lauren moved closer, started nursing school, and every Sunday, the three of them met in a park, beneath the same oak tree, and passed their daughter between them like a prayer. One afternoon, as Lauren pushed the stroller and Jessica tossed leaves in the air, Adam stepped away to take a call. When he returned, he held up a photo. "That's him," he said. "Michael Halperin, the donor." Jessica looked down at the baby's face, then up at the man in the photo. Her breath caught because she'd seen that face before, in a photo tucked away in a drawer. A man Lauren used to date. Jessica turned to Lauren, heart thudding. "You knew him, didn't you?" Lauren didn't deny it. She just whispered, "I loved him once, but I never told you, because I never wanted to love his child. Only yours."